All right, guys, it's that time again to step in the ring with the greatest faction in podcast history. Just Freak Wrestling, the JFW Podcast, hosted by Travis T. And guys, we are here. This is the beginning of the official split of Just Freak Wrestling, the JFW Podcast. I mentioned in a video I posted on our Facebook page last week how I decided I wanted to take our brand and divide it into mainstream wrestling and independent wrestling. This is the first episode of the independent wrestling. I do have my new co-host with me. He's right next to me underneath the JFW logo here, which will be an unveiling here in a moment. Just to build up the suspense, because I know there's been a lot of questions, brought to me on who the new person is. I had people ask me, is it Sentinel? Is it the commissioner of SCW? Did him and I kind of reach an agreement to where he was brought on? And to answer that question, absolutely not. Hell no. I hate the fact that people even thought that. Nothing against Sentinel for, his ability to talk about wrestling. But if you go back to a conversation I had with him a couple years ago where he talked about one of the greatest tag teams being the Bushwhackers, instantly just shows he knows nothing about wrestling. Plus, you kind of look at his booking as well. We'll kind of look at the SCW show that's coming in July. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit as well. And some of those matches that really doesn't make sense as far as who's facing who. But luckily, the new co-host I do have is a huge fan of SCW wrestling as well. So we're going to be able to get his input on that. A lot of people thought it was a former SCW wrestler, Andy Black, who me and Dizzle J had some interactions with and stuff. And again, absolutely not nothing against Andy Black, but he hasn't been in the business in a while, so I doubt he knows what's going on to even consider him to be a host of a podcast. Keith has been mentioned as well, and as interesting that would be, definitely not either. It's narrowing it down. There's been a name that people haven't mentioned. Hunter Payne has been mentioned, and I don't even know if the dude really knows how to use a computer. I mean, he barely is able to get onto the Podbean Lives that we do, correctly, if you will. I think he has his granddaughter there to help him, or whoever the hell it is, the nurse at the home that he currently is at. So we're going to bring our new co-host on here in a moment, but I have to get this out of the way first before we begin that this episode of Just Freak Wrestling, the JFW Podcast, is brought to you by ballwash.com. Now, if you guys are just like me, and this isn't the only thing I do, I actually have a full-time job where I work out into the long, hot days all day long. And I perspire. I get sweaty, I get dirty, I get smelly. And when I come home, I want to get clean. And the best way for me to get cleaned up and everything is to use my products that I get from ballwash.com. They have everything to clean you from head to toe, from whole to everything from shampoos, conditioners, body washes. They even have a ball guard, and what that is a lotion that goes right onto your area, if you will, anywhere really you want to. You think you're going to perspire. It dries as a powder, and it keeps yourself fresh and ready to go all day long. So if you guys want, go to ballwash.com, fill your cart up with all their amazing products. Use the promo code FREAKNET, that's FREAKNET. Use it at checkout. You'll save yourself 15% on your entire order. That's right, guys. Ballwash.com. When it comes to your stack, they got your back. Okay, cool. Got that plug out. We'll do some plugs along the way and everything as well. But I think it's time. I know you guys are ready for this. I know you guys are excited for this. So ladies and gentlemen, the new co-host of JFW Wrestling, the JFW Podcast, Just Freakin' Wrestling. God, I'm so excited. I'm even screwing up my own words. I can't even say it. Superfan Steve is here. Hashtag FSteve. Fact checking Steve. I've called him so many names. But he is here. He's Steve, thank you for being here, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for this.
Well, thank you for having me. You finally have some talent on the JFW show. I know it's a different show from the main show. Yeah. But this soon will be the main show.
Yeah. Well, we talked a little bit about before we recorded about how I've been watching a lot of the NWO stuff, on the Peacock network now.
On the Peacock, yep.
On the CAC, yeah. And I was kind of looking up some history on the NWO as far as like the groups and the different generations or evolutions that came with. And I never really knew until I looked it up today that there was an NWO B team. that consists of like Stevie Ray, Buff Bagwell, like members of the NWO were never officially full-blown NWO members. And that's where I kind of feel like we're kind of at. Like I know this is going to be incredible, especially for the local viewership. That's why we're doing this. Because I know there's a fan base in the local area, especially pertaining to independent wrestling, that wants us to discuss it a lot more than we have been on the mainstream show. So I thought to myself, what's the best way to not only pull in more viewership from around the world, which we have been doing, but also keeping people interested in the entire longevity of the show when it pertains to mainstream fans, when it pertains to independent fans. And, of course, I'm a genius. Why not just have two shows? So I split it up, right? This currently is the SmackDown, if you will, the NXT UK, if you will, the AEW Dynamite, or Rampage, if you will, of the JFW Podcast company. So,
but if you look at SmackDown and NXT UK, SmackDown is a lot better than Raw. So you're saying this show is going to be better than the mainstream show, as the other one is called. This is the indie show, the mainstream. And actually, in this day and age, indie wrestling is a lot better than mainstream. So of course, this show is going to be number one.
Oh, I do believe that, because I think the growth that we're going to have and the interaction we're going to have at this show may supersede the mainstream show, just for the fact that there's a lot of fans that we have across the world that I think are a little too nervous to interact with us and get our opinions on it, because we are so straightforward and so honest in what we do.
This show is going to be, they need to understand one thing. Mm-hmm. This show is going to be honest.
Yep.
Even local promoters, local wrestlers may not like what we have to say, but damn it, they're going to listen.
Oh, and the thing is that they need to. And I know I made the joke about it several times on the mainstream episode that I believe WWE does listen to our shows, because when I put out a what if situation, it ends up showing up like 2 weeks later. So either I'm good enough to where I could even book WWE, or they're smart enough to listen to what I have to say and just steal my ideas. So
anybody can book WWE today,
right? It's
let's not get on the WWE. Let's stay on our indie. Yeah, that's our indie show.
Yeah. So the whole concept of this show, as I mentioned several times, even in this show, is we're going to talk about independent wrestling. That's everything from Southland Championship Wrestling, ARW Pro, Phoenix Pro Wrestling, any other independent companies that we kind of.
We've been talking back and forth about Phoenix Pro. I'd like to go see them. One other thing I want to touch on is I'm excited to talk about promotions that are no longer around. Pro Wrestling Blitz. Mm-hmm. NXW, I know NXW got a lot of flack as a yarder fed, but they were actually pretty damn decent. And one that I used to really be a super fan of back in the late 90s was WWA. Mike Bonomo was the promoter. Now, a lot of people like Mr. Bonomo around this area, but I'm telling you, we need to get him on this show eventually, because I really want to do a deep dive into that. Because I'll tell you right now, they had some awesome fucking shows. Oh, you got guys that wrestled there that are still, the Lunatic started there, Dirty Doc Skurlock. They had a guy called the Human Wrecking Ball, Pete Madden. They had actually an exploding barbed wire match there one time at WWA.
God. And that's the stuff that I do want to focus on as well as we go through and move forward in these episodes, is talking about the history of independent wrestling, because we never really know where we are today without knowing where we came from. And I think as wrestling fans, we need to learn, about those businesses. Lunatic Wrestling Federation was one of the first independent wrestling companies I've ever saw. Not around anymore. My cousin wrestled there. My cousin owned Elite Pro Wrestling. That's no longer around.
I remember I seen Elite Pro, honestly, on a cable access channel a couple times. I think, honestly, back in the day when it was a TCI cable in the area, it was on like channel 21, like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I would watch them on, look them up through the internet. That's when the internet was first starting, so.
Oh yeah, I think one of my cousin's proudest moments was when they debuted a television title and they could legitimately Thank you. God, you're gonna help me out here because this is what I do. They were able to call it the television title because they were televised on cable. Same way with their Elite Pro World title. They were able to officially establish the world part of it because they got defended outside the country. Same thing I believe with SCW when they had, I want to say it was Maverick Cage who wrestled out in England in it. For defending the title.
Him and God, what was her name?
Was it Moxie?
Moxie.
Molly Holly.
Molly Holly. Jesus Christ.
Moxie.
No, when they went over to England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's cool how like I know there are independent companies out there, and I think we're going to kind of learn about them as we go through this together. That will just throw a world title name onto a title that's never been defended outside of Nebraska or whatever, you know.
Right.
So, when we get an opportunity to do this show and get to meet these companies, get to meet these promoters and owners, and how serious they take their business, I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. And then obviously there's Sentinel, who's unprofessional as fuck, which just and that's one thing.
Has he been trying to get on the show yet?
You know what?
I got lobbying to get on here and try to talk about his favorite tag team, the fucking Bushwhackers.
The Bushwhackers. I have not had a conversation with that guy since we did the live stream about a couple months ago that he kind of returned on. I did see him at Steam Hollow when SCW did the Rock and Wrestling event. He did kind of point me out in the crowd, try to make some jokes about the podcast, but just got booed to the point where he just kind of stopped talking, which is kind of a norm for him. So
yeah, that's normal to get, you know, he thought he was a fan favorite and then he learned how a fan can turn other fans against you.
Yeah, he almost has like that. And that's one thing I did want to mention, because this is the independent show, like you kind of mentioned earlier, we're not going to so much discuss anything mainstream unless it's like a comparison in a way. For example, Sentinel is really like the Rikishi gimmick where he ran over Austin. He said he did it for The Rock. Kind of like that thing. Sentinel says that what he's doing is best for the fans, even though everybody in the SCW world, community, universe, whatever you want to call them, just doesn't like him. And I don't know if it's like because of the arrogance he has or just his poor way of managing. But I still have yet to get my apology from him for when he interrupted my interview with JPH on the live stream. I thought maybe I'd get a reaction from him when I was posting the video on the split of this show, and I haven't heard anything from him. So I think it's one of those things where he's okay saying something to me when he has time to really sit down and think about what he has to say. And 9 times out of 10, he's not able to do that unless he's in his wife's robes and in his rocking chair, sipping what I can only assume is maybe a chamomile tea with a little spoonful of honey.
You know what you need to ask him? He needs to break out, when he first started showing his ugly mug around Southland, Jason Dukes, I don't know if you ever heard of him, wrestled, I believe it was still Chicago Style Wrestling Southland. This dude was a bigger guy, but man, could he move. Anyway, he auctioned off a pink robe, and there's a picture of the Sentinel in it.
Really?
He probably struts around his house in that damn thing.
Probably only that
to tell him how great he is. Oh, God, Lord.
Right? Probably just in that robe.
Yeah, there ain't much hanging from there, though.
But that's one of the cool things about doing this show with you, too, is you're going to help me learn the history of independent wrestling, especially when we go into officially doing the Windy City Championship Wrestling panel that we are still planning on doing. I know I mentioned it several times. It hasn't happened yet, but we're going to do it.
Well, I think that's going to be a massive undertaking, but I know some about Windy City. I don't know it all, but I know some.
Yeah.
But it was the premier independent promotion in Chicago for a long time.
Yeah. Well,
and you still have guys today wrestling that's where they cut their teeth.
Well, that's something that, I've learned as I've been doing this, because like I didn't know the president of WCW. What's his name? Sam.
Sam DeCero.
Sam. I didn't know who Sam was. I know Hunter Payne was in Windy City. I know Austin Roberts was part of one of the C-Red. Which with C-Red, C-Red is somebody I really want to talk to you about too.
Marco Anthony, he's still, with elite pain in the ass, what are you going to call him? Yeah. Ivan Manson, Snake Manson, Terry Allen, he's back, he's shown it, back in the wrestling.
Yeah.
There's just so many. Then you have
Sean Mulligan.
Then you have, up north, you have POW, where Jimmy Blaze started at, Windy City. And speaking of POW, did you see that, August 6th that the SCW title is going to be defended against the POW championship against Scott Spade?
Yeah, I just noticed that the other day on Facebook. I thought that was kind of interesting how SCW's allowing, and I'm always curious on what the mindset goes into a booker allowing his championship to be defended at another company.
Well, if you've noticed though, Max Halliday for a while there was coming out. It wasn't the POW championship. I think it was an underneath belt. He was bringing that to SCW. I honestly thought I thought he bought a replica belt and wanted to look cool with, 2 belts.
You're talking about 3-time SCW heavyweight champion Max Halliday who held the title for 400 days. You say that.
Jesus.
Only 3-time heavyweight champion. You gotta give credit where credit's due,
I have to admit that match at ARW with Hunter and him, that crowd, Jesus. That was a savage crowd. It was, man, I thought the fans were going to fight the fans. That's how crazy we were that night.
Right. It bothered me so much that match ended in like a count out or whatever. They just threw it out or whatever. I still didn't like the fact that Hunter's son got involved in it. I still to this day believe it was his son's fault, not Holliday's fault. He was just defending himself. Same way when Sentinel interfered in the match. It's like, I know SCW ARW's feud is long gone. I know that's over. But
I have to admit though, that feud, honestly, as much as I've been watching wrestling, is probably one of the best, storyline, was the best story and one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The way they did it.
Yeah. And even the outcome from it. You still got ARW guys who have kind of like officially found a home now in Southland as far as Santana Starks, Mr. 3% John Hudson, Max Halliday, even Flat Top, the referee. He's an official SCW senior referee.
Oh, I love giving Flat Top shit.
And there was always that concern, especially when SCW started putting shows back out there and ARW really hasn't kind of came back, if they were coming back. And now we've noticed that they have. They're stripping all their titles, starting all over again. And
I believe all their champions, you had the Sharpshooters who were no longer around.
Yep.
Machine was I believe their heavyweight. He retired.
Yep.
And then you had, I believe, Dave Allen. Yeah, Dave Allen was stricken with cancer, and I believe he was Was he the Indiana State champion at that time? I believe.
I think he was
Johnny Showtime. It was one of them two. I can't remember.
I want to say it might have been Showtime because I think Allen had it before JPH took it off of him, and I think Showtime.
Yeah, that allegedly fast count there at that one at ARW show.
Mm-hmm.
That was a clean, nice, slow count.
Yeah. And then obviously Melanie Cruz is in AEW now. So it makes a lot of sense. So I know that they have brackets and tournaments going on. From the looks of it, they probably won't have any titles officially announced until probably next spring, but it's going to be kind of cool to watch how everything goes. We know Max Halliday advanced against Jake Andrews at the last ARW show. James Creed is in the run for the ARW championship as well, which is interesting to also think that James Creed is, James Creed is a trained and raised up through SCW, and the first championship opportunity he has is in a different company. But he is a former ARW tag team champion with Max Blaylock.
Janetti.
Janetti, yeah. I think even Janetti would be too much of an insult to Janetti if I called Max a Janetti. But exactly. But that's the thing. I know a lot of people hate me for saying it, but I believe every tag team has a fucking Janetti. There's always somebody.
They all do. So who's the Genetti with Hunter Payne and Marco Anthony?
It's Marco Anthony. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, and the thing is, like, I'm not the only one who believes it. If you watch Steve Arndt's Power Hour interview,
oh God, don't bring him up.
Neville, I got to bring him
that
up
show,
because it's a
that
segue
show's the lowest rated podcast ever.
I loved how I loved his whole, because he does the video podcast, which is kind of like what we're doing here.
Right.
He did the first official interview with Evil Gains and Evil, which they're going to be our first guest on here if we get it set up, and hopefully get that set up soon to get them on here. But I mean, C-Red was on there, the manager of Elite Pain, doing nothing.
He was dogging him.
Yeah, the whole time.
Marco.
Where's Anthony? And it's like it doesn't matter, like, you know, if he's there or not. If you're managing a guy, build him up. You support the fuck out of him. But see what
behind closed doors, you could argue and yell and fight, but that's some type of manager that is going to dog, like you said, dog his own guy.
100%.
Manager.
And I can never take away anything C-Red has done in the business. Also a Windy City guy. So I respect the shit out of C-Red. I just don't like him because just for the sheer fact of what he said about his own champions. And I'm not the hugest fan of Elite Pain. Clearly me and Hunter have had like up and down roller coaster issues over the last couple of years. Anthony's never done anything to me. He's just guilty by proxy.
There you go.
Guilty by association, whatever the fancy term is. But you still, you gotta build it. I mean, like, how would it work out if Charlie Jr., you know, went around, you know, giving shit to Ivan if Ivan wasn't around? You know, it's like how does it work when he comes out with them, you know, 2 weeks later to a match, calling him his big bad brother from another mother because his papa was a freak, you know? It makes no sense.
No, they don't. It makes none. None at all.
C-Red is not that much different than Sentinel, and I'll say it. I have no problem doing it.
Oh, I wouldn't. No.
I'm going there.
No.
I'm going there. He ran his mouth to a point where now he just kind of seems like a jerk, and I'll say it. C-Red's kind of a jerk.
Man.
Respect for everything
kind of jerk. I wouldn't.
Respect for everything he's
right
done
by
to
his man because he talks shit about him.
It's kind of jerkish. I could say horrible. I could say worse words, but it's
if you get him on this show, I want you to tell him that he's a jerk.
Tell me he's a jerk. How can he dispute what I'm saying though? What he's gonna say? Like, he's gonna tell me that, like, you know, like sometimes you just gotta speak the truth. 100%, but not when you're managing the guy 2 weeks later. Makes no sense. Especially when you're building up Evil Gains Neville, who is calling out your tag team that you're managing even to begin with.
I tell you what, I think that Evil Gains Neville is going to be the new champions. Here's the problem, though, and I'll say it, tag teams in SCW. There is none.
No.
There is none. There's none. You have Elite Pain.
Mm-hmm.
Who the hell they fight? The Bearded Brothers?
Yeah, the Super Bearded Brothers? Come on.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, that was a match.
Well, you had the Elements of War, Just Amazing DeCobra, and they're like gone all of a sudden. That was a great tag team. I thought it was.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have one of the best tag teams is Bulletproof LLC. You know, dropped some weight finally, you know, some loose, you know, tied up loose ends with, old Gimpy there and Adam Cage, you know.
Yeah. Let me ask you about your opinion on that, because I wasn't at that show. I was only able to watch it live on pay-per-view.
I wasn't at that show either, but I got my phone rang and said, you know, I have two phones. I have one for, you know, Bulletproof and one for a personal, and I seen Bo was calling, so when Bo calls, you answer.
Yeah. We got to.
And he, you know, all I heard was, you know, it sounded like a chair closing and somebody screaming like a newborn baby. Please, no more. Yeah, that's what I was hearing. You know, I don't know. You know, I'm not saying I'm happy of BJ Price being in there, but you know, it's what they say it is. You know, I support Bulletproof 100%.
Yeah, I do.
They're always there. They're always at the shows. They never cancel, and they still get shit matches.
They're showing up on the flyers though. They are finally showing up on the flyers, right? It's one of the things
Finally.
where there's a couple things I do disagree with you on as far as Bulletproof goes and what they did. I don't think kicking Adam Cage out was the right thing to do. I mean, obviously because of that attack, he is going to be out for an extended period of time. To replace him with VJ, I guess, to have the strength and numbers going forward, but it's going to benefit VJ being with Bulletproof, in the aspect of having that veteran, what the fuck is the word I'm thinking of? Presence. Veteran presence. Along with, Bo. I think it's going to help VJ kind of push himself along. I know a lot of the matches he's had, it's kind of been, they've been good matches. They've been high card matches. He faced Hunter Payne. He tagged with, Max Holiday.
That one Austin Roberts just beat the living shit out of him.
Yeah.
I think that was welcome to the business, kid.
It seemed like that. I mean, it's funny, even when he faced Hunter, it seemed brutal. But, VJ, for the most part, held his own the best he could. I mean, Hunter's a big dude. That's why whenever I say shit about him, it's usually over the recordings. I mean, granted, I know that he's not going to do anything to me at the shows. I'm just a customer. I'm a paying fan. It's whatever. But
you never know.
True. But I've seen VJ train. I've had VJ on the podcast even before he debuted in wrestling. I've had a lot of the guys from the SCW school on this podcast. Even Creed, I've had him on the show before. He became bigger than what he is now. The guy known for the elbow drop. Was the original or the real sharpshooter or whatever the goofy gimmick is he's still trying to hold on to. And
the real. He's still not certified in duck hunt though. That's what I've been hearing from keeping it reels. There's proof they've got a hold of Nintendo and there's no certificate. So I don't know if you're not certified in duck hunt, how can you call yourself the real sharpshooter? But I'll give him credit. He's got a hell of an elbow drop.
It is one of the better elbow drops in the business, that's for sure. But SCW does have a show coming up, Dissension, was that 7? 5, is it 8? Dissension 8.
Yes.
What day is that? That's July 20th.
Hold on.
4th?
Hold on. Looking up what you gave me.
Yeah, come on, yeah.
Yes, July 24th.
July 24th, Shaban, Civic Center. We're going to go over some of the matches that are scheduled for that. Luckily, Sentinel isn't in control of what information I get because I never get it. So it's cool to have kind of like that.
You get it a week later.
Yeah, I get it in time to just share it, but I never get in time to promote it on the podcast. But I'm like Dave Meltzer in the sense I have backdoor access to a lot of things at SCW that probably Sentinel doesn't appreciate.
I've heard that before. You got a lot of backdoor access. I'm sorry. I'm shutting up. I'm sorry.
100% true. It's dirty work, but somebody's got to do it, Steve. Right. No one's really willing to dig into the shit, if you will.
Jesus Christ.
But the Ascension is coming up. We're going to talk about some of the matches that are booked. I kind of want to get your opinion on some of these decisions as far as championships that are on the line. Before we do that, I just want to remind everybody that this episode is brought to you by Audible.com. Now, if you're just like me, you're a huge fan of stories and history, you just don't like reading them yourselves because maybe you're illiterate or you're just lazy, Audible.com is the best place for you to go.
I'm both.
Right? One-stop shop for audiobooks. You're on a long road trip, whether you're going on vacation, you're on to work, and you want to read about them, you want to hear about amazing story, especially if it pertains to wrestling, like autobiographies of Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels, the rise and fall of WCW. All these books are available, especially the brand new book by Chris Jericho is available on Audible. And if you use the promo code audibletrial.com/freaknet, you sign up today, you get a 30-day free trial of Audible plus a credit to get your first book purchase. So you get the brand new Chris Jericho book absolutely free, and you can listen to it while you do yard work, do housework.
So who's reading the book? Is it Chris Jericho?
See, I'm not sure because I know Jericho did narrate his last book, so I don't know if he's gonna narrate this one. So it does vary on who's doing the narrations of them.
I was just curious. I'll have to go to that sponsor and check it out.
It's an amazing sponsor, audibletrial.com/freaknet. We do have a new sponsor for the Freaknet Studios. It is Amazon Music is now officially sponsoring Freaknet Studios. So I got to get the URL officially set up, but as soon as we do, we're going to be able to help you guys get set up for a free trial of Amazon Music as well. So you get your free music for, I think it might be 60 days. I'll have to find out. But,
nice.
But we are going to have a promo code here at Freaknet Studios that's going to allow you to try out Amazon Music for 30 days or 60 days, however long it is, absolutely free. I want to say it's getamazonmusic.com/freaknet, but I want to officially confirm that before we go forward with that. So,
Jesus, Amazon's getting into the music business now, huh?
God, Amazon's getting into the JFW business. Thank you, Audible.
There you go.
But Dissension, one of the matches that were scheduled, this actually kind of seems like a return match from the Steam Hollow show. It's going to be El Dorado taking on Victor Ignatius Peterson, VIP, if you will.
VIP. I like that. VIP, I like that.
Now, you didn't get a chance to get to Rock and Wrestling. Is that correct?
No, I was unable to attend.
Yeah. Awesome
I did watch this match, though.
I think it was a great match. I think I've seen these guys perform at Steam Hollow. First time I've ever seen them like wrestle, not only like individually but together.
I thought they did pretty decent for their first time.
They did. And I do like El Dorado's whole King Kong Bundy pin gimmick with the whole like.
See, that's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. My opinion, if you do a 5 count, that's usually to me a heel thing. It's
a heel thing. It's 100% heel thing.
But as they say, the business is changing. So.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of the things where like it's not. I don't see him getting over as so much of a face. I think he'd be a lot better as a heel.
See, that's what honestly, when I heard about him, I thought he'd be, my opinion, a better heel.
Yeah,
you could have a big guy like that can move.
Yep,
that's a hell of a heel. And come out. You remember 911 from ECW?
Yeah, one man gang.
There you go. Just come out. Choke slam the shit out of somebody and then leave. But I'm not booking SCW.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
also I'm not a big fan of his theme song. The whole Lowrider song.
What is it?
Like all my friends. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, that's fine if he loves it. I get it. For some reason, I just can't get into that song. It's annoying as hell. When I watched the old George Lopez TV show, I skipped the intro just because just not a fan.
You can't talk shit of George Lopez is the man. Yeah,
I love his show. I just skipped the
intro.
All my friends love a lowrider. Nobody likes lowriders. Not one person likes lowriders. Not one.
Usually, if I get in a car, it becomes a lowrider. So
that speed bump just bounces.
Hell yeah! And I don't have to pay for the shit.
SCW Women's Championship will be on the line when Paloma Star goes up against Angel. Now, we've seen Angel recently over the last few months make her debut into SCW, and she's made quite an impact there, too. So, how do you feel? Well, first off, give me your opinion on even the women's division of SCW, because it has been, for no disrespect to the women who are there, kind of lackluster over the last few months.
It has been, and, it seems like in the indie scene, it's hard to find women wrestlers that are, willing to possibly travel or whatever the issue is. And I don't know, it could be a financial thing, because women wrestlers in indie scene are hard to come by.
Yeah.
Good quality indie wrestling, so they're going to require a little bit more money, and I don't blame them. So, I think it'd be an all right match, but do you ever see the video where, this had to be years and years, where Elite Pain took Angel and powerbombed her off the top rope?
Was that her? I've seen a video where Elite Pain did that to a woman. I just didn't know who it was, so that was Angel.
Johnny Wild was trying to stop, and that's when Johnny Wild was managing them.
Okay.
Yeah, it was at some high school up north, and they just knocked her the hell out.
Okay, I have seen that video. If we can find that video, maybe we'll post it up on our Facebook page for those who haven't seen it. Just to give you guys a feel of who this the Cena-esque Hunter Payne that is today what he used to be back in the day. Do you feel that Hunter Payne got a little PG-13? Like, he's not really the Southland badass anymore, right?
Yeah, honestly, when we first started going, me and my kids started going back when it was in the Legends in 2014. That's how long we've been going, and I thought he was better as a heel personally.
Yeah.
But
Well, he kind of went from like Big Evil Undertaker in like 2002, 2003 to like mid 80s Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Very like.
But too though, you SCW's got a lot of kids that come.
Yeah.
So, they like, you got to have like the Hogan-esque guy, but I don't know.
But that's what fucking Alliance of Hope is for. They're the fucking. Yeah, you mean literally everyone who used to be part of like the Evil Alliance, whoever the hell the Sheik and Paradox and Crane.
Paradox hasn't been around for a while.
No, but all of them now.
Still wrestling.
Yeah, but they're now all part of the Alliance of Hope or the fucking what the fuck are they called now? It's the Alliance of Hope, right?
The Alliance of Hope.
Yeah, they used to be the Patriots of Hope. Yeah, so it's goofy. I'm just waiting for Angus McDuff to make his return and be part of the Alliance of Hope because apparently every evil person that's in SCW who, with the Sheik is now with Bane X, who is really just there to kind of just wave and be that Hulk Hogan for the fans. He doesn't wrestle anymore. He shouldn't wrestle anymore.
That's true. I'll give you that. Bane X is a better Hogan-esque. He's the crowd favorite. The kid, he's the one the kids gravitate to.
100%. Yeah. But Hunter Payne doesn't need to be, like, hey, let me slap your 3-year-old kid's hand and everything and give him a little fucking knuckle sandwich as I walk through the fucking ring. It makes no sense. I loved when I first got into SCW back in 2017 and him and Marco were like managed by Bobby Blues when Bobby Blues was even like an arrogant manager. Now he's just a goofy fucking ring announcer.
That's some bitch come out dressed like Willy Wonka from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The Johnny Depp version. Version, not the Gene Wilder.
Promos. Even their promos were better when he was a heel and stuff. It was incredible. Now it just got so.
You can have any wrestler on here. It's probably easier to be a heel than a face.
Well, yeah, but like you remember back in the day, and obviously based on how we're built now, we know when you used to make Kool-Aid back in the day, and they say 2 cups of sugar, you threw 6 in there. You wanted 6. More.
Half a bag.
Nowadays, so Hunter back then was like that extra sugary fucking Kool-Aid. Like you wanted something, but you wanted to add fucking more to it, and by God, when you did, it was incredible. Now, in this 2021 era, he is like fucking sugar-free Jell-O. Like, it's still the treat, but it's just not as good.
It's not the one you want. It's not the one you want.
Exactly. Like, there's a difference between when a candy bar is made of chocolate or it's made of carob. And right now, Hunter Payne is like a veggie strip compared to we want the Hershey chocolate.
Plant-based meat versus real meat.
Right. Like 2017 Hunter was like a chicken wing. Fucking 2021 Hunter Payne is a fucking piece of cauliflower dipped in buffalo sauce.
Well, maybe when Evil gains and Evil takes those titles, maybe they'll trigger something. He actually needs to go back to where back his Windy City days, and I can never pronounce his name right. When he was Nightbreed, him. There you go. I can't pronounce that. I will fuck that up.
There is a moment where I want to interview Balthazar and Abaddon and like just get them together. Austin Roberts and Hunter Payne. I want to
get is if I am right, we have to ask the old great, as I address Hunter Payne now, Hail Caesar. I believe, if I'm right, from some Windy City history, and I could be wrong, but that Julian the Warlock was part of Nightbreed too. And they were some evils. I know. Like I said, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Because there was a team called the Warlocks, and I swore Balthazar. I said it. There we go. Possibly was a part of that, and I'm not sure. But yeah, I've tried to look up Julian the Warlock and can't find him.
Yeah. I mean, like, I only know them from Elite Pro Wrestling. That's when I first met them. Back when, like, Hunter was, like, a little bit more slimmed down, a little bit more paler and
Yeah,
stuff.
I've seen, there's some guys who do a podcast and they show the old matches from Elite Pro.
Yeah, that's, Vito
Tomaselli.
Tomaselli, and I can't remember the other guy's name. Did you see, side note, did you watch, the A&E,
Yes.
like, Treasures and saw Vito?
Yes.
I thought he trained me. He was one of my coaches at the, Elite Pro School.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, when I went to go train him and his brother Sal. Were them, Jay Jensen, and my cousin Mike were all my trainers there.
Doesn't Jay Jensen doesn't he run Northern Lights? You ever heard of Northern Lights?
No, you're thinking of EJ Jensen. You're thinking of Eddie.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
He runs Northern Lights, which I'm contemplating whether or not to reach out to Northern Lights because I tried to back in 2017 and they gave me the brush off.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to see. So I'm trying to figure out maybe I should try again. I think I'm going to just because I'm a pretty open-minded guy, you know, and I'm a very easygoing person to an extent. And
they always had some decent wrestlers and matches there. Just to me, maybe I'm wrong, but their videos look like they never had much of a crowd. It didn't look like they got a lot of fans there.
They when they have their shows. When I remember going to a show once, I think it was on like a Sunday or something like that. But
I always thought they were Saturday. It's in Joliet.
It's in Godley. It's down by Wilmington.
Godley, there we go.
Yeah,
Godley.
Yeah. As far as I remember, when I went one time with Dizzle J, I think it was on a Sunday. It was in one of their like district buildings, and it's huge. It's like a basketball court. It's huge. There was a lot of people there, but they have all the bleachers and stuff rolled out for people to sit in, and there's just. If they closed those and just did floor seats, it would have been fine. Plus they serve alcohol, which is awesome.
Oh shit!
So, yeah, I had a vodka.
I don't know. I don't know if I could get if I could drink at a wrestling event and actually not get kicked out.
I know I can. But yeah, no. Eddie, who owns Northern Lights, I trained with him at Elite Pro.
No shit.
I was actually when we used to do dark matches during training, like when training was over and we would do dark matches on our own. Right. He was my tag team partner. We would call ourselves the Bastards. So yeah,
I like that. That.
I don't think he remembers me, but I do remember that stuff. And oh god, the fucking referee who comes to SCW a lot. What the fuck's his name? He's a referee for, I think, GPW. Shorter guy.
Oh.
I can't remember his name. But fucking in Elite Pro and in the rest school, we called him Nubby.
Oh, you're talking about Turtle.
Yeah, I guess you guys call him Turtle now. Yeah.
Michael Norwart or something?
Yes, yeah. So he was in training with me. Chad Martinez was known as Chad Norris or Chuck Norris. He was a referee for Elite Pro. He was in training with me and stuff like that. I mean, there was a bunch of people that there was a guy that we called Brett Michaels because he kind of looked like Brett Michaels. There was Kimberly Cash. I don't know if you ever heard about her. She was in training with me. There was a younger guy there, John E. Cash. He was in training, Ryan Projects. So a lot of these guys who I trained with, and I don't think a lot of them wrestle too much anymore. Obviously, Eddie does because he runs Northern Lights. He puts himself in these matches and shows. Everyone else, I don't think is really into business anymore. I think I do know Kimberly retired. I remember hearing about that because obviously talking with like Hunter Payne.
How long did you do that?
I want to say it was maybe about 6 months before work kind of screwed me over. Because I was working days, and all of a sudden they decided to swap me to nights, and I couldn't go to training. The only time I was able to train was on Saturdays. They did training Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning, so I went to train on Saturday. But when you train once a week, you can't. It's hard to get into the business. And there's no
progress.
Yeah, and there was one day where they're setting up a all students battle royal. They're having a small kind of show, like quick throw together show. And it was supposed to have all the trainees from the school into a battle royal, and the winner will go on to face the Elite Pro champion at the end of the night. And
no shit.
yeah, so I was kind of excited about it until I got a phone call from my cousin. And it's a business decision. I totally understood it. When he called and said, listen, you're not going to be in it just because you're not fully trained, which I understood, again, once a week.
Right.
It sucked. It is what it is. But then, like, that kind of, like, got me to the point where I'm thinking, like, if I'm doing a third of the work, it's going to take me it's going to take me 3 times longer to get into the ring. So,
right.
yeah, then I just stopped. And it sucked, but you know what? It's one of the things where I think I'd be better doing what I'm doing here. Because I know in the ring, like, even doing the dark matches, like, trying to get through it without screwing it up, my memory would be too shot to even try to comprehend how to get through the fucking matches. So I think doing like the recording, the cameras and all that stuff, that's more me.
Yeah, there you go.
But
you can be the Monday morning quarterback. That's what we do best.
Yeah, talking. I do a lot better talking. Sharpshooter James Creed's taking on Christopher St. Michael. I've noticed he's been around a lot more recently than in the past.
Yeah, he was with God, what was their name? The Plague. I thought it was the Plague. It was him, Jared Priest, BOW, and God, what's Ace Bradley was his name. He wrestles that Ace Bradley wrestles with Youth Gone Wild at Chicagoland Championship Wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah, his name's Tom. Oh God, he's been around for a long time. He's a good wrestler. Yeah, but Christopher St. Michael's he's pretty good. I think that'd probably one of your better matches of the night, honestly.
Well, Creed always delivers.
Now I can't say, I don't know if, the Creed Hudson trilogy. I don't know if anything will top that. Honestly, I liked how they took that and reversed it. They did their hardcore, basically anything goes match first, and then your last fall was a simple, regular wrestling match.
Yeah, and I was a huge fan of that too. I think it was different. It's one of the things when I first kind of looked at it, it confused the hell out of me. It's like you want the more stipulated match to be like the main event, but the way it kind of like played itself out, I got it, and I was really happy with it. And even Hudson mentioned on the Power Hour show that he told Creed, "You're welcome for putting you on the map for this match," which credit credits too. Hudson busted his ass to make fucking Creed look like a star in this fucking match.
And one thing they did smart, what them two did was so smart, is how they use social media to do their promos.
Oh, yeah.
That is missing. That is missing to where they can use social media. Let social media work for you. That's going to draw more fans in, hopefully, and it hypes up the match even better, and it gives when that bell finally rings, it gives more there's more energy, more just more.
And that's what
I'm saying,
and that's what guys are missing. I mean, out of everyone, Creed, JPH, they do the promos, they use social media to their advantage. Everyone else doesn't do that. Like, I don't remember the last time I saw Lee Payne do a promo on a tag team. I don't see, last time Cloma Star made a promo. Jake Andrews, the current Genesis champion. I mean, I remember Charlie Jr. used to do them all the time. Now I don't even see those. So it's like people are getting away from.
Well, if he did them, I couldn't see him. He has me blocked on Facebook. So.
Oh, what'd you do to Charlie?
Well, you want to know?
Oh, yeah. Did you helter skelter? What the fuck, man?
No, what happened is me and him used to go back and forth, and we were cool about it. And I basically made a thing about he was making a Facebook, I don't know if he was doing a live video or what. And I said, you better hurry up and clean up your mom's basement before she gets home from work. Apparently that pissed him off. I didn't know he lived in his mom's basement. Like, I don't even know if he does.
God. That's how we're going to get the views here, man. I'm excited for this shit.
Well, I don't care. It's true.
Fuck it. No, and that's what we're here for. We're here to talk the truth about independent wrestling.
And then one night we were, I think it was not last year, but the year before, that son of a bitch came trying to attack me with the damn broom. I was just gonna let him hit me and fall back.
Well, that's one of the things like we always used to talk about, like when we did interviews with independent wrestlers, is, hey man, do what you want to do, talk what you want to talk about. You know, we're not here to tear everyone down. You know, we're here to build everyone up, and that's still the objective here on this independent episodes. But also, it's going to be brutal honesty that we're going to have to, you know, utilize as part of the show. It's
that's
like, I'm not saying like if you go out there,
what I want to do.
Well, yeah, and that's what we need to do. Like, I mean, if you go out there and you have a match that maybe doesn't live up to the expectations that we think you're capable of doing, I think we'll mention it. We're not going to bury anybody. We're not going to say like, oh, fucking, you know, that's it, he's done, kick him out, he's over with. But I mean, we got to call people out on their bullshit. I mean, I get wrestlers who come, you know, who message me after their matches. Hey, what'd you think? How'd you like it? You know, is there anything that, you know, you thought I could have done different and shit? And I give my honest opinion. And I think they appreciate that more. Excuse me. Instead of me coming on here is like, you know, hey, even though he missed that 450 splash, you know, that was a 10-star match. Like, no, it's like, you know, slow down, be more, you know, methodical, you know, shit like that. And that's what.
Well, because as, you know, as a fan, we're the type of cynical fucking fans that will dissect the shit out of wrestling matches. That's what my kid said last night. She wants me to sit and watch wrestling together one day. I was watching AEW, just fucking criticizing the shit out of it.
This is the first.
That's just what I do.
Yeah, this past week was the first AEW I watched in like a real long time. I watched highlights here and there, but I've just never been an AEW fan. It was nice though. You know, I mean, like it seems like it's getting a little bit better. Like people are kind of like slowing down.
I personally like the main event. I thought it was a good match, but I know a lot of people don't like the Young Bucks. But
I don't know what happened with them, why they're so goofy looking now. But
dude, they're fucking heels, and they're the goofy heels. I personally don't mind comedy in wrestling. I know some people are like, oh, that's killing the business, you know. It's the same thing as I heard when they did All Out, and when they had like penises come out with Joey Ryan. I seen wrestlers saying, oh, that's killing the business. No, actually what kills the fucking wrestling business is when you get on social media and thank your opponent for a match.
Yep.
Stop doing that.
The handshake in the middle between Creed and Hudson, I wasn't a big fan of. I know a lot of people weren't either.
I don't really, you know, that didn't bother me. You know, it's almost like my personal opinion, I'd love to see Hudson shake his hand and just slap the shit out of him.
Yeah, something. You know, show people that you're still that heel.
Or go slap his mother or something. Shit,
right. SCW Heavyweight Championship, JPH is taking on Aaron Xavier. Now, the one question I do have for you is, we're seeing JPH take on Aaron Xavier. We're seeing Paloma taking on Angel. I mean, Evil Gains Evil, even mentioned on the Power Hour, where it's not just Hudson and Xavier, but it's also Angel. She's a part of all that.
Right. She's Aaron's wife.
So even before Gaines Neville has an opportunity to take on Elite Pain, Aaron Xavier has an opportunity to become SCW Heavyweight Champion. Angel has an opportunity.
So Angel wins, he wins it, and then they win the tag titles, and they got all the fucking gold.
Oh yeah, you put Hudson up against Andrews to win the Genesis Championship? Why the hell not?
And then give him the tag titles.
Yeah. Yeah. But how do you feel about, because we kind of got we got away from the whole, you know, earning a number one contender slot. It's now just everyone's being thrown into it. Which Holiday still has yet to get his rematch.
Well, if he's got a rematch, you know, calm down there.
Is he too busy out there promoting his new movie?
Yeah, the brass ring. We had I'm surprised you haven't promoted that on here for him.
I know nothing about it. I try to find it, and I can't even find it. I know nothing about this movie.
I know it's like a very short film. It's supposed to be pretty damn good, though.
What's it about?
I believe that Max plays a down and out wrestler. I guess that's doing some type of like Comic-Con thing. I could be totally wrong. That's the basis I'm getting at. from it.
Well, maybe we'll get Holiday on here to talk about it.
There you go. See, why not? You know, and I'll just let you two have your moment of, in the sun. I'll just sit back and watch.
You guys show respect for the 3-time SCW heavyweight champion who held the title for over 400 days. Feats that people have not yet done yet.
Yeah, but does the COVID era really count?
It 100% counts. 100% counts. You got to count it. You can't just clap your hands and it goes away because it.
Well, how many events did they have during the COVID era? So instead of the Attitude Era, now we got the COVID era champions.
Yeah. Lee Payne has held the titles for nearly 400. Still held titles for 400 some days.
I think they've held it for 1,400 years.
Yeah.
There's no. I'm telling you, they need some challengers. And I'm talking people like Hardcore Impact. God, there's hell, even have the family go up against them. And I'm not a family fucking fan, but
I'm a fan of the Hellbillies from DWA. I was a huge fan.
Well, the Hellbillies were at SC. Hellbillies have come down to SCW.
Well, they need to come back.
Shows.
They need to come back.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, isn't Holiday and BOW in a fucking team or some shit like that?
No.
Who the hell was Holiday?
Holiday, he used to be back in the Pro Wrestling Blitz days. It was him, and he wasn't by Holiday. It was God, I can't remember his name in there. It was him, Machine, and Grin and Barrett, the 3-ring circus.
Okay, Machine. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
Yeah.
Grim and Barrett. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing fucking Grim team with Holiday and take on Elite Pain. The teams Yobo, are there. Yabo, yeah.
Yobo and Ruff. Yobo, good lord.
Yobo.
Yeah. Yobo.
Yeah, Yabo would be fucking good to bring down.
You ever seen him wrestle?
Yeah, he wrestled at DWA.
Well, 1019. Good lord, he wrestles those goddamn clown shoes on.
Yeah. I thought he was going to fall every time he got on the ropes.
Yeah. One person that's missing from FCW, I've said, where the hell's Marche been? I know he's on NWA these days, but Marche was a mainstay in SCW.
But does SCW need him?
No, but just it's one of those things, like, for the fans, because he comes out, that crowd pops for him.
So like a John Cena, a Rock, an Undertaker.
Yeah,
I give him like a Legends contract, if you will.
I don't know. Maybe they'll, make a figure out of him.
Right. Maybe he could win the championship and then just vanish for like 2 years.
There you go.
Right. But yeah, I mean, Marche, I hadn't seen, I probably haven't seen him really since he lost the tag team titles with Mulligan. I think maybe a couple of shows after that, but that was about it. But I mean, it's nice to see some of the guys who were at the first show I've been to, still kind of there. And a lot of them aren't anymore. Chris Miller's not there anymore. Obviously Doc Blaylock's not there anymore. Max Blaylock isn't there anymore. Oh God, what the fuck is JPH's old fucking tag team partner's not there anymore?
RK Savage. I believe he got ill.
Yeah.
When they were the rulers of wrestling, I love that. That team was pretty damn good.
Oh yeah. It was weird to see JPH come out. I guess he was just called Jay Harris at the time. Come out for the first time with his shaved head because he had those dreadlocks and shit, man. I thought that they had an opportunity to be, tag team champions, and obviously it didn't work out. They had the great series of matches between the two that ended with the I Quit match.
Oh yeah, that was a damn good match.
Yeah. Well, what other companies can you think of that maybe we could reach out to or could reach out to us that we could do here besides SCW, PPW, and stuff like that?
Possibly Powell, but they're up in Fox Lake.
Yeah. We also got to keep in mind too is I think doesn't Steve do a lot with Powell, and I don't want to step on those toes.
No, I believe he does.
Or is that CSW?
He does a lot with Chicago style wrestling. he's like their commissioner. I don't know what the fuck he is. He's a cancer in my opinion, but
you know what? I hate the fact, and I mean, obviously we're going to record this. This is recorded for audio, but also we're going to release the video on YouTube, so those who are watching video can see me do this. My favorite thing about Steve that he does, it's so fucking corny, but do me a favor. I need you to tell me. I just need you to say something like, Hunter Payne isn't as tough as you think he is. And I'm going to pretend to be Steve Arnett. So go ahead.
Hunter Payne isn't as tough as he says he is.
The goofiest fucking faces. The goofiest fucking faces. Or you're just like, I don't know how it is, but like from like the side, you're just like come on, man. Like, are you really as shock and awe because somebody who's a heel is tearing down their opponent? Fuck yeah, you don't have to do the whole fucking like, see no evil, speak no evil, see no evil bullshit monkeys like a big old gasp of what the hell.
Now he's a commentator for SCW. How the hell did that happen?
I don't know. He took my job. So thanks for that.
That's what I was gonna say. I thought that was a JFW job.
I thought it was too. I guess I shouldn't feel bad if I take maybe I'll just make CSW an exclusive partner with JFW. That way Power Hour could go shocking all themselves into oblivion.
There you go.
Right. Nothing against C Red though. Just wish he was a better manager. So
damn.
I know, right? It's okay to say things like that because it's me. I'm too lovable to hate no matter what I say. It's goofy as fuck.
That's true.
I
give
know,
you that.
Right? I mean, fucking beginning. I mean, we didn't really like each other. I mean, you came at this podcast like we were a bunch of jagoffs. We didn't even know who the hell you were.
I was.
Yeah,
I thought you going to light me up.
You were as well known as fucking Dan Smith.
That's true. That's true.
Right? Which I still believe to this day. Who's Dan Smith? I started that. I started that.
Bullshit.
I started that.
Actually, I think I put who the fuck is Dan Smith.
That's right. Yeah, I said who's Dan Smith on the podcast that was released before they did anything, and I had to make that point the night of when they started doing promos in the back. Who's Dan Smith? I'm Dan Smith, and then like you were doing the comments on SCW. I was like, I'm pretty sure I said that first. So I went back and I found the video. That's why recording shit's amazing. That's why I know I can never be friends with Steve Arnett because there's a video of me going. But we're willing to partner with everybody, and we're willing to be teammates, and work well because independent wrestling is huge in the Midwest. It used to be bigger back in the 90s and the 80s, even the early 2000s. And our goal here is to bring that back.
Actually, your indie feds really, back in the late 80s, I went to, I have to send them to you this weekend, the old type flyers, like, it was I think it's called CI Wrestling Promotions, where they had Spike Huber, Ox Baker. They had a couple shows where Bruiser Brody was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And they actually have a flyer where, the Undertaker is known as Commando. He wrestled in Watsika one night.
No kidding. Yep. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's very cool. Well, I think, cause the whole reason we're videotaping this is because we're releasing it onto YouTube because we want to grow the JFW, site, the channel as well. So maybe we'll do some things from time to time when we have free time, and we'll do like a watch along of old, like independent matches. We just release them up onto, we just so like people like, just our reactions to like just old matches and shit like that. But see, we're so worried about making an hour. Here we are, a little over an hour. We have done an entire show, and all we did is just bullshit and talk about. So much more. But we talked about SCW. That's the biggest thing. We're gonna get more matches scheduled and released. We'll talk about those. Maybe we'll even start doing some match predictions and stuff as we get closer to the event. Okay. PPW is putting on a show up in Wisconsin, Labor Day weekend. As of right now, it's confirmed that I am free that Saturday. I took vacation off work, so if you want to plan a trip up there, we can definitely look into doing that.
Okay.
I know Paul from PPW.
If they're willing to, I know you said they're giving you free tickets and stuff. We need to patronize that company.
Oh yeah, PPW is one of my favorite companies. We talk about them as much as we can. Obviously, we don't talk about them as much as SCW, which I do feel bad about that. But that's why we have these episodes now, because these are solely independent wrestling. We have more time to do that stuff.
Well, I've seen PPW's got Xavier Cross that used to wrestle SCW.
Yeah,
I had a whole I talked to that kid. I had a whole gimmick what he needed to do. Remember the Straight Edge Society with Punk?
Yeah.
I said, you need to come out and do something like that, but when you come out, you need to bless people with holy water and how you're going to save them. Like all of that. It's, you call it the cross effect. Instead of Straight Edge Society, the cross effect.
I like that.
Remember how those TV evangelists used to touch people and they fall? I said, shit, you go around do it to me, I'll fall. Oh.
But it is let's see, what day is it? It's September 4th up in Holmen, American Legion, Holmen, Wisconsin. Some of the matches they currently have is Just Jake versus Black Hand Drew Bronson, Maverick.
I gotta look up my shit. Hold on, I gotta look up what you sent me. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm
not technology savvy, man.
Oh, it's fine. It's just gonna be a brief run through. Maverick and a mystery partner is going to take on Night Court. We got the PPW World Heavyweight title that's on the line with Robbie McCann, the current PPW Heavyweight Champion, with opponents to still be announced.
Is that dude wrapped in a Confederate flag? That looks like a fucking Confederate. Oh my God, we gotta go.
Perfect. PPW tag team titles are on the line as Pain and Pleasures taking on the Unleashed. United States.
That name.
The Unleashed or Pain and Pleasure?
Pain and Pleasure.
Excellent. Didn't he have a tag team called Safe Word? Or just call him Pineapple?
I always thought of a tag team called Vicious and Delicious, and I'd call myself Delicious.
Who'd be your tag team partner?
You ever met Big Bobby that goes to SCW?
Yeah.
He's taller than me. He'd be Vicious and I'd be Delicious.
Oh, there you go.
And I'd almost do like a gold dust thing.
What you should do is just get a tag team and call them Safe Word. And then they do like a Yokozuna, like just drop ass right on their face and just call it Pineapple. United States 6-man tag team title match, No Coast taking on Disciples of Darkness. And then the NAW, because PPW and NAW do cross promotions. NAW TV title. They do, yeah. Crazy Scott, against a mystery opponent. The table match that's included the Legacy Championship, the PPW, Devlock versus Pretty Boy. There's other ones. We'll get through. We'll talk about more, but.
God damn, how many belts they got?
Well, it's two companies, man.
Oh, okay. So all these are not PPW titles.
Well, not all of them.
Oh, okay.
It's not like it's a participation award company, man. It's just I'm
not bagging on them. Fuck, I don't know. Shit, give me a title.
PPW is gonna be new to all of us, man. Like I said, I talk to Paul, once a month on what shows are coming up and stuff like that, and this is gonna be another way to work with when we start getting independent wrestlers on here. We're gonna get these guys on to talk to them too. So, I definitely see a lot of interviews happening in our future, and I'm really excited about that.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, that's September 4th up at the Holmen American Legion post in Holmen, Wisconsin. We'll go over the match cards again. That's not till September, so we got plenty of time to talk more about it. SCW is going to have more stuff coming out. Jeez. We never really thought about how we're going to close the show out. Obviously over on the mainstream, Dizzle J does time to read his bell on the podcast. I say my perfect as always, but I don't know if we should do that here or find something different. What's your thinking?
Leave them in suspense for right now. We'll have something.
Right? Like it just faded to black right now. It's not just dim out. Something. I guess so. But I do got to promote some more things before I leave though. I gotta get that stuff in there.
Oh, no problem, man. Gotta pay the bills.
Gotta pay the bills. Guys, as you can see, I am wearing my JFW logo t-shirt. As well, if you look behind me, I got my JFW banner right back there. All this stuff is available at tpublic.com. All you gotta do is search TEEPUBLIC.com and just search JFW right there. And you'll find all our amazing products in our Freakin Studio store. Everything from JFW logo stuff to the original Freak Travis t-shirts to the Extreme Outcast Daily shirts to Mr. 33% Dizzle J. And then one day we'll definitely get Steve some merchandise in there too if he just tells me what his gimmick is.
I need a banner. I need a banner behind me.
Well, it's available at tpublic.com. You just search TEPUBLIC.com and search JFW.
No. I'm going to look at my contract here, you know. Yeah. I must have not read it real well because I thought I was going to get some free shit.
Have you ever heard of the Chicago Black Sox and how they threw the World Series to make some more money?
Yes.
Do you know why they did that?
No.
Because Mr. Kaminsky paid them what they were owed and nothing more. Welcome to episode 1 of your podcast career, kid.
Wow. I guess I'll have to kill the podcast for you. Yeah.
I'm just kidding, kinda. Don't worry, Hunter. I'll get you your shit. God damn it.
Hunter?
What? No, I'm just kidding. Anywho, we definitely gotta get you some JFW stuff, man. Like, I mean, I got JFW mugs and banners and stuff like that. I mean, I put money back into the business, but hey, whatever you guys want to do, it's totally fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, we'll just have to figure out where exactly are you recording from? Because it looks like a bathroom.
my kitchen.
Oh yeah,
my dining room.
Heart of the home, love good food. Okay.
Hey, don't judge. I put it up, but the wife picked it out, you know. So.
Oh, we'll definitely work on getting you a banner to kind of throw up there and stuff like that. So I don't know if I want to get you the original or the new JFW banner. Maybe I'll find you like the original one or something like that. Or maybe I'll get you the travesty one that has my face on it in a golden frame. Stick right behind you.
There you go.
Right. So, but speaking of merchandise, like I said, just go to tpublic.com, TEPUBLIC.com. Pick up your merch. Just search JFW. Get coffee mugs, t-shirts, banners, notebooks, cell phone cases, tapestries, pillowcases, or not pillowcases, but pillows, everything like that. We are actually coming out. We're coming out with a new shirt soon. Actually, not only Steve's as soon as we figure it out, but a new one that's been in the works since Rockin' Wrestling. And it's actually to, you may not like this, Steve, but it's to pay homage to the commissioner of SCW. So,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't want to do it, but apparently there was some agreement that was made that we got to do it. So there is going to be a Sentinel t-shirt that's going to be designed and released by JFW. So that's going to happen soon. But it's a limited time.
I think I'm going to quit.
It'll be okay.
I think I'm going to quit.
Trust me, you'll be fine. It'll be okay.
All right, I trust you.
Trust me. Like when you see the design, you're gonna be like, you know what? I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. And you know what? Again, it keeps us within good standings with the promotion. So, because believe it or not,
having me on here might not keep you in good standing with the promotion.
Well, I am allowed to hire whoever I want for it. I mean that was one of the agreements on, like, you know, having Dally, one of their employees, on here, was to have an understanding that I'm okay with having whoever I want on here as long as, you know, I think it'll work. And I think it'll work with you. And I know within reason everything's going to work itself out. SCW is going to be okay with this. I know Sentinel won't be happy with it, but you are a super fan of the business. And if SCW tells me you can't be on here, then maybe SCW doesn't be on my show anymore.
Oh, shit.
Right? I could do shit like that. You want to know why? Because like I told Sentinel, this is my fucking show. I could do things like that. But great standards of SCW. That's why, you know, they're okay with me having you on, even though they don't know yet. I'm sure they'll be okay with it. Sentinel probably won't be, but it's not like he's going to say anything about it.
So nobody knows, do they?
Nobody knew. Dally and Dizzle J didn't know until your face appeared. They didn't know who was the new member of JFW until 8 minutes into this podcast.
So it's going to be like the Hogan thing, you know, 25 years from now, we'll see a memory of me being the fourth person, fourth man. That's
true. Yeah. Yeah, you are our, who was the fourth guy? I think it was Ted DiBiase was the fourth member of, NWO. You're DiBiase.
Could be worse.
Look at that, right?
Could be Buff Bagwell.
Oh, God.
Vincent.
There you go, right? You don't want to be a Vincent. Did you ever see the meme, or whatever, the fucking weird thing that was posted online that, he made a Twitter post and put a picture of like him and Brooke. And he says like, I don't care who your dad is, it's $20 for a photo. I was like, that's
I hope we don't become that eventually.
Oh God, no. The overall goal though is to get to, like, I don't know if you ever heard us talk. I mean, you had to if you listened to our show. They had the Wrestling Expo down in Indianapolis. They had like a whole wrestling convention this past spring. The whole goal is by next year to have our own booth at that convention. So I'm actually in talks with them now about it, and I think I'm on a list to where I'm going to be one of the persons that's going to be notified. The booth and the table doesn't cost that much, and because of our sponsors. And the more we get, people buying our shit, the more money we're going to have. We'll have our own booth. And then we'll be down there. There'll be independent wrestlers we can talk to. There'll be mainstream wrestlers we can talk to. And this way, who knows? Maybe we can find one of those mainstream guys to get on the show, and then they'll start building more relationships. We could be the next Conrad Thompson.
There you go. We're not going to get into mortgages, though.
No, God, no. No, I can't. I can't keep my own house. Fuck.
I personally like Cornette over Conrad.
Jim Cornette? Yeah. I like him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. He's very Sentinel-like in his, like, anger, but yeah. I like his knowledge and his stories. I think they're really cool.
Yeah. Actually, Conrad, they're all pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, one of the best Conrad podcasts right now is My World with Jeff Jarrett. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's nice to hear his story.
Because I like when they talk. I'm one of those guys like him. I like when you talk about money and what actually went on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think Jarrett's is one of my favorite. I'm not a big fan of the JR ones. 83 Weeks is okay from time to time, depending on the topic. Some of the wrestle I do like.
I love JR because he's an angry old man. I love that shit.
You mean when he's over there? He's over there doing this commentary on WWE Dynamite.
Yeah. Oh shit! How long did he work for that company?
I know. I posted a tweet yesterday after watching the AEW recording, and I heard JR on the fucking show say this is some serious shiznit, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm not doing it. Yeah. I said a tweet out. I'm like, so JR said shiznit on AEW. That's all. All right. Well, we'll figure out a good closing for the show. And then obviously, Steve, welcome to JFW. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you for having me, man. Sky's the limit, baby. Sky's the limit.
Right. And hopefully everyone can continue to tune into us because the overall goal is to do this weekly, and this is strictly independent wrestling. So as I mentioned on my Facebook page and as I posted on the Facebook page for JFW, if you guys out there, if you work for a wrestling company, an independent wrestling company in the Midwest, or you know somebody who owns a wrestling company in the Midwest, message us at jfwpodcast@yahoo.com or message us on Facebook at Just Freakin' Wrestling. Let us know so we could help start promoting your show and stuff. And we're not really asking for much out of this, I mean, like, we're just trying to build relationships with you guys and, just trying to help the independent business by trying to talk to as many companies as we can. So make sure you tune in every single week to our show, which is going to be released just by searching Just Freakin' Wrestling on Google Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Podbean. Ask your Alexa app to play Just Freakin' Wrestling. It will do it. We're released on Verbal, and I'm trying to get on Pandora, but that's all goofy shit. So, Steve, until next time, and by then maybe we'll figure out a good exit too. So
we will.
Cool. All right, guys. I'm Travis C, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.